Cynthia Horsford, also known as Auntie Cinty, of Belle Isle, St. David, who resided at Grand Bacalet, St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, 16th May, at the age of 84. She was the mother of Anselm, Rawl, and Desmond Horsford, Dexter and Ian Frederick, Patsy Charles, Rachel Mitchell, Deborah and Desiree Frederick, grandmother of 30 including Samaran Bola, Derisha Frederick, Giselle Frederick, Kieran, Carisha, Selwyn Horsford, John Swift, Donna Tika, Rolando Horsford, Kenisha Mitchell, Denson Frederick, and Chevron in the USA, great-grandmother of 20, sister of Crossley and John Horsford, aunts of many in Grenada, Trinidad and the USA including Gillian Horsford, Judy Horsford, and Colin Charles, and their siblings Jacinta, Joycelyn and Annette, Neil and Janelle. Mother-in-law of Cynthia and Sharon Horsford, Naomi Frederick, Kennedy Mitchell, Finba Charles, Stephen Lewis, Derek Thompson. Sister-in-law of Joan Horsford. Many cousins, other relatives and friends including Ann Charles, Mavis McQueen, Mr. Sidney, Jerry Bowler, Atiba Hille, the Horsford family of Windsor Forest and Belle Isle, the Cornwall family of St. Paul's, Edwards family of Tivoli, Lynch family of Lamode, Telesford family of St. David, Leo Horsford and family, pastor and members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, St. David, friends and neighbors of Grand Bacalet, Belle Isle and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Cynthia Agatha Horsford, also known as Auntie Cinty of Belle Isle, St. David, who resided at Grand Bacalet, St. Andrew, will be held on Tuesday, 14th June at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Corinth, and interment at the St. David Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lockwell Brothers Funeral Home.
Deron Candace Francis of Crowshoe St. Andrew passed away on Thursday, 19th May 2022 at the age of 37. She was the daughter of John Francis Thomas and Gloria Francis in Canada, adopted daughter of Esther Thomas, sister of Kieran Francis in the USA, Junic and Judan Sayers in Grenada, Nikisha Mitchell, Shamar McIntosh, Neera Sayers and Carleen Braveboy in Grenada, and Petrina in Canada. Niece of Barbara Stanislaus, Florence Holmes, Anne, also known as Baby, Andres and Samuel in Grenada, Lydia and Margaret in Canada, Valerie, Sandra, Lucy, Carmen, Celia and Cloney Regis in the USA, and Cecil in Canada. Aunt of Leishon, Isabel, Donald Jr., Joshua, Caleb, Micah, and Eden. Many other relatives and friends including Jermel, Shondell, Abigail, Katharina, Claudine, Aaron, Sherry-Ann, Cousin Bernadette in Canada, Rhonda, Patrice, Michael, Kellen, Rondell, Chad, Gracelyn Thomas, Lucille Joseph, Mary Alexander, Agatha Noel, the Thomas family of Crowshoe, the Stanislaus family of Grandance, the Francis family of Corinth, the church family of Faith Pentecostal Tabernacle Pomrose, and friends and neighbors of Crowshoe and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Deron Candace Francis of Crowshoe St. Andrew will take place on Tuesday, June 14th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Independent Baptist Church, Mamacan St. Andrew, and entombment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Louis Amos Rose, also known as Silvo and Big Bus, of Westerhall, St. David, who resided at Calivini, St. George, a well-known bus driver of Richmond Hill, Munjaloo and Marion bus route, past president of Zone 3 and the National Bus Association, transitioned this life on Tuesday, 24th May, at the age of 60. He survived by his wife, Claudette Rose, daughter, Claudicia Rose, granddaughter, Chloe Rose, brother, Ronald Teddy Simon, sisters, Hannah Rose, Sergeant in Barbados, and Ruth Rose, uncles, Julian Rose in the USA, George Simon in the USA, Michael Rose in the UK, stepmother, Beryl Rose, Sisters-in-law Denise Simon, Maureen Oxley, Esther Otterly, Heather Graves. Brother-in-law Winston Hines. Aunt-in-law Maureen Simon and Rhoda Rose in the USA. Nieces and nephews Karen, Keith, Kendra, Keisha, Carlos, Damarisa. Stepsisters Patsy, Michelle, and Rachel. Close relatives including Carl Rose, Dennis Rose in the UK, George Andrew, USA, Carriacou, Sammy, Sharon, Susan Simon in the USA, Marva Primus Joseph. Close friends including Christopher Gale, Ralph Gatz, Neil Moore, Raymond Pivot, Jason Wilson, and Desmond Thompson. Other relatives and friends including The Rose, Simon, Aki, Joseph, Cloudin, Moore, Watson. Families of Wester Hall, Marion, Calivini, and abroad. Neighbors of Calivini, Wester Hall, and surrounding areas. Members of the Calivini Gospel Hall and Brethren Assemblies of Grenada, regionally and internationally. Members of staff of the former Grenada Sugar Factory, Zone 3 bus drivers and National Bus Association. Members of the Grenada Patient Kidney Foundation and the Kidney Support Group. Management and staff of the Island Health Services Dialysis Clinic, the dedicated doctors and nurses at the General Hospital, especially the male medical ward, nephrology and oncology departments. The Thanksgiving service for the life of the late Louis Amos Rose, also known as Silvo and Big Bus, will be held on Wednesday, 15 June at 2 p.m. The service will take place at the Calivini Gospel Hall, Calivini, Marion Junction, and the entombment at the Monjaloo Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Evangeline Adeltris Batiste, also known as Dello, of New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Monday 23 May 2022 at the age of 83. She was the mother of Magdalene, also known as Beryl, Claire, Alroy, Bernard, also known as Eumost in Trinidad, Dexter, Derek, also known as and Kenny in the USA. Grandmother of 22, including Ron, Wendell, Devon, Kalisha, Cassandra, and Drusilla. Great-grandmother of 19. Great-great-grandmother of Leela. Sister of Alberta and Gentle in the USA. In-laws including Edmund, Roger, and Shamali. Many nieces and nephews including Haran and Adrian. Other relatives and friends including Jasmine, Lavina, the Sylvester, Gibbs, Hagley, and Nixon families, and friends and neighbors of New Hampshire and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Evangeline Adeltris Batiste, also known as Dello, of New Hampshire St. George, will take place on Wednesday, June 15th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Evangelistic Centre, Market Hill, St. George's, and interment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Geraldine Victor née Elcock of Mardi Gras St. David, who resided at Molinaire St. George, died on Wednesday, May 4th, 2022 in Kentucky, USA, at the age of 63. Left to mourn her mother, Jean Elcock, husband Michael Victor, children Nigel Elcock in the USA, Jason Elcock, Nixon, Kellorn, Neilorn, Brendan and Nadia Victor, siblings Monica Isaac, Marjorie Thomas, Ruth Scott, Lois Plenty, Vida Hope in Barbados, Veron Elcock, Rachel Worm, Menno Elcock in the USA, Tyndale Elcock, Lincoln Elcock, and Husent Elcock. Grandchildren Ivana, Amir and Elijah Elcock in the USA, Jadine and Jada Elcock, Jamari, Omari, Nakia, Naima, Naya, Kellon, Nathan, and Kimon. Daughter-in-law of Shirley Victor. Mother-in-law of Elva Henry Elcock in the USA, Vivian Victor, and Brenda Elcock. Many brothers and sisters-in-law. Many nieces, nephews, aunts, and uncles. Other relatives and friends including the Lord and Hunt families, the Wilson family, the Latouche family of St. David, the Elcock, Scott, Plenty, and Mungo families, the Alexander and St. Bernard families of St. Patrick, Eustace and Dora St. Bernard, Elma Bruno and family of St. Patrick, Merle James, Penelope, Raymond Edmund, the Mitchell, Victor and Patrick families of Happy Hill, Mr. Julian Mitchell, and friends of Foodland Market Square. The funeral service for the late Geraldine Victor née Elcock of Mardi Gras St. David, who resided at Molinaire St. George, will take place on Wednesday, June 15th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the People's Church St. Paul's, followed by interment at the Mount Airy Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Alistair Thompson, also known as Wicho, of Caliste St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 31st May 2022, at the age of 70. He was the husband of Joy Thompson, father of Michelle, Wendell, Gaemon, Louise, Anisha and Alicia, stepfather of Carla, Olympia, Al and Richie Lewis, grandfather of 10 including Leah, Ranil, Zaria and Azim, great-grandfather of 1, brother of Winston, Darrant, Joseph, Martin, Anacita, Doreen, Alban and Roslyn, son-in-law of Christine John, brother-in-law of Aldith, Veronica, Elma, Andy, Sam and Richard, uncle of many including Wendy, caregivers Arthur Andrews, Jane St. Louis and Samuel Hayes. Many other relatives and friends including the Thompson, Lewis, Perry and Francis families, the fishermen of Caliste, the boys by Debo Shop, the pastor and members of the Caliste Berean Bible Church, and friends and neighbours of Caliste and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Alistair Thompson, also known as Wicho, of Caliste St. George, will take place on Wednesday, June 15th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grand Anse Baptist Church, Morris Bishop Highway, and interment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. James Merrydale Croft, also known as Funny Man, of Park Lane, St. George's, passed away on Thursday, 19th May 2022, at the age of 59. Left to mourn his son Nigel Smith, brother Arnold Ross, sister Betty Houston, nieces Andrea Houston and Arlene Ross, daughter-in-law Bettina Bernard Smith, many close relatives and friends including the Ross family, family members in England, New York and Trinidad, Augustus Marshall, Bernard, Ricky, and the boys by the shop. The funeral arrangements for the late James Merrydale Croft, also known as Funny Man, of Park Lane, St. George's, have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Benjamin Fortune, also known as Carlton, of Bellevue, South Carriacou, who resided in London, England, passed away on Tuesday, 3rd May 2022, at the age of 87. He was the husband of Carmen Fortune, father of Carlin, Patricia, Pauline, Christine and Mark Fortune, grandfather of Diagoro, Gentaro, Cadine and Benji Fortune, father-in-law of Wakaba and Josephine Fortune, uncle of Tony, Rosalind, Margaret, Alma and Kevin Foray, Neil, Richard and Vicky Fortune, all in the United Kingdom, cousin of many including Mitchell Mackenzie, Nelson and Albert Fortune, lots of other cousins in England, the USA, Trinidad and Europe, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Benjamin Fortune, also known as Carlton, of Bellevue, South Carriacou, who resided in London, England, will take place on Wednesday, 15th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Francis Anglican Church, Harveyvale, Carriacou, and entombment will be at the Fortune Family Cemetery, Bellevue, South Carriacou. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Ruth Matheson, also known as Dearest, of Six Roads, Carriacou, who resided at Mount Royal, Carriacou, passed away on Sunday, 22nd May 2022, at the age of 89. She was the mother of Louise Matheson, sister of Victoria Benjamin, also known as Cousin Toya, grandmother of 1, aunt of many including Cecilia, Rita, Bernadette, Alvicia, David and Garnet, caretaker Gemma, close cousin of Wilma, Evadneberg, Yvonne, Bob, Eman, Ulrika, Anne Rose, and Jones. Many other relatives and close friends, including the Matheson and Benjamin families, the Raymond, Adams, Logan, Lawrence, Lazarus, and Fleury families, and friends and neighbours of Six Roads, Bel Air, Mount Royal, and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Ruth Matheson, also known as Dearest of Six Roads, Carriacou, who resided at Mount Royal, Carriacou, will take place on Wednesday, June 15th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church, Hillsborough, Carriacou, and interment will be at the Brunswick Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Shaman Buckmeyer, also known as Redman, of Birchgrove, St. Andrew, died on Sunday, May 8, 2022, at the age of 9. He was the son of Chevon Buckmeyer and Latonia Simon, adopted son of Chanel Lewis, 5 sisters and 3 brothers, grandson of Jennifer Lewis and Patrick Buckmeyer, Marva Simon and John Isaac in Carriacou, nephew of many including Shanna Buckmeyer, Giselle, Jonelle, and Nikisha Phillip, grandnephew of Mulren and Alistair Phillip, great-grandson of Mary Creft, godson of Randy Berkeley. Other relatives and friends including the Phillip, Lewis, Buckmeyer, Leslie, and McSween families, the Simon, Isaac, and Quashie families in Carriacou, Father Dan Chidi Duru, and the parishioners of St. Matthew's Roman Catholic Church, and staff and students of the St. Matthew's Roman Catholic School. The funeral service for the late Shaman Daniel Buckmeyer, also known as Redman, of Birchgrove, St. Andrew, will take place on Friday, June 17th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's RC Church, and entombment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery, Birchgrove. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Jasper Anthony Griffith of Barbados, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, and at Mount Pleasant, Carriacou, passed away on Saturday, 14th May 2022, at the age of 67. He was the husband of Sheila Griffith, father of Algernon Griffith, grandfather of Dominus, Jasmine, Donovan, Xavier, and Violet, great-grandfather of Cairo, brother of Ralph in Canada and Jackie in the USA, brother-in-law of Godfrey McIntosh, Arlene, Ethel Shade, Hilda, Sarah-Lynn, Cynthia, and Joyce, uncle of many, godfather of Carolyn. Other relatives and friends including the Griffith families in Barbados, Lynn, Joycelyn and Michael in Barbados, Thelma Hall and Rosita and family in the United States, Shade, the McIntosh and Patterson families of Mount Pleasant and Granby, Tevin Andrew and the NDC family in Carriacou, Kim Mills and staff of Vibes FM Radio, members of the Grenada Amateur Radio Club and the Barbados Amateur Radio Society, and friends in Barbados, New York, Grenada, and Carriacou, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Jasper Anthony Griffith of Barbados, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, and at Mount Pleasant, Carriacou, will take place on Friday, 17th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Christ the King Anglican Church, Hillsborough, Carriacou, and entombment will be at the Grand Bay Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Anderson Desmond John, also known as Andy and Man, of Belmont St. George, died on Thursday, 2nd June 2022, at the age of 52. He was the brother of Marcia Thomas, Sherry Abraham, Ricardo Cole, Primes Holder, Shanaz, and Dwight Bovell in Barbados, nephew of Maxwell, Leo Latouche, Godwin in the USA, Lila Latouche Bishop, Glorita Bishop and Nord John in the USA, Joy Pascal, Joycelyn and Carol John in Grenada, grandson of Alston Hector, great-nephew of Agnes Williams, uncle of many, cousin of Jimmy Felix and many others, close friend of Thessa Trail, relative of the John, Latouche, Williams, Isaac, Bowen, Vincent, Andrews, Abraham, Bovell, and Holder families. The funeral of the late Anderson Desmond John, also known as Andy and Man, of Belmont St. George will take place on Friday 17th June at 10 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Michael's Roman Catholic Church, Woburn, St. George, and interment will be at the family cemetery, Woburn. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Eileen Cynthia Lockhart, née Crawford, of the Summit St. Paul, St. George, who resided in Trinidad, passed away on Tuesday, 31st May 2022, at the age of 78. She was the wife of Norman Keith Lockhart, mother of Steve Crawford and Eugene Crawford in Grenada, and Rachel Crawford in the USA, grandmother of Kira McSween and Jada Crawford, sister of Earl Crawford, also known as Kiski, Elvira Crawford, Jean Crawford and Daphne Croney, mother-in-law of Kim and Earlene Crawford, sister-in-law of Patricia Crawford, aunt of many including Wilcox Roberts, Sue Ann Crawford, Tracy Croney, Susie Crawford, Peter Lockhart, Mikey, Eric, Kenrick, Selwyn, Hillary, Wendy and Brian. Other relatives and friends including Patsy Gibbs, and friends and neighbors of St. Paul's and Grand Aunt's House in Scheme, and the congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses in Grenada and Trinidad. A memorial service for the late Eileen Cynthia Lockhart, née Crawford, of the Summit St. Paul, St. George, who resided in Trinidad, will take place on Friday, June 17th at 10 a.m. Service will be held at the Woodlands Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Anne Bernard Coutain of La Fortune St. Patrick passed away on Monday 16th May 2022 at the age of 62. She was the daughter of Dennis Coutain in England, sister of Verna and Yvonne in England, Anthony, also known as Tony, in England, and Lucky, also known as Askiki in Grenada, niece of Cislin Paul, Raymond Philip, and Wadley Bernard, aunt of Kashina, Kadisha, Lawson, Lyston and Sunshine Coutain, Kavina Gobline Coutain English, Samantha, Tracy, Kazine, Sheridan, Kimon, Jamik, Nikel, Romika, Keanu, Razi, Chanel, Gigi, Cheyenne, Tete, Rayston, Ralston and Wendy Ann. Many grandnieces and nephews. Sister-in-law of Leslie Ann and Patsy. Many other relatives and friends including Victor Batiste, Darian, Leno, Tina, Victor in Canada, Clifton, Cutty, the Batiste and Philip families of Madays and Montfendu, Monkrich and Monkrule, the Edwards family of Rosehill, the Thomas family of Madays and Lamode, and friends and neighbours of Montfendu, Rosehill, Madays and La Fortune, St. Patrick and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Anne Bernard Coutain of La Fortune, St. Patrick will take place on Friday 17th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick's Anglican Church, Sautez, and interment will be at the Marley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Jean McFarlane Oliver of Wynwood Carriacou passed away on Saturday 28th May 2022 at the age of 83. She was the mother of John McFarlane in the USA, Andrew, Randolph, Vincent, L'Oreal, Laura and Paula in Carriacou, grandmother of 26, great-grandmother of 31, sister of Phyllis, Daphne, Verna and Verma in the United Kingdom, James in Carriacou, and Alan in Tortola, sister-in-law of Roseanne and Denise in Carriacou, Gemma, Judith and Hervin in the USA, Zolita, Izakel, Dexter and Vernon in Bequay, mother-in-law of Bernard Compton and Yvette Oliver, aunt of many, too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends including the Oliver families in Carriacou, Petite Martinique, Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the McFarlane families in Carriacou, Germaine McQuilkin, Tonty Germ, the McQuilkin and McLawrence families, the Compton and MacDonald families, and neighbours of Wynwood and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Jean McFarlane Oliver of Wynwood Carriacou will take place on Friday, June 17th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's and Paul Roman Catholic Church, Wynwood Carriacou, and interment will be at the family cemetery, Wynwood. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alma de Bellet of Maloney Street, who resided at Belmont St. George, a retired seamstress, passed away on Tuesday, 31st May 2022, at the age of 91. She was the mother of Alistair de Bellet, also known as Ali of Mountgay, and Anthea de Bellet of Gulf Course St. George, grandmother of Kristen, Aaliyah and Arisa de Bellet, Adley and Ario de Bellet Louison, sister of Geraldine Williams, Sheila Buckmeyer, Annette Folks and Jean House, Lionel and Alan Folks in Trinidad, and Ashley Ram Folks in Grenada, mother-in-law of Bernadette Nelson de Bellet. Several nieces and nephews, including Nadia Folks of Fontenoy, Cynthia Langine in Canada, and Jamila Folks Ford in New York, Cherry Davis, Janice Charles, Asim, the Williams and House families in England, and the Folks family in Trinidad and the USA. Sister-in-law of Pauline and Patsy Folks, and Michael House. Many relatives and friends, including Claire Joseph and family, Agnes Herbert, Neela Lewis, Sabita Liddell and family, Denise Wells in England, Nelson Louisaw, Desiree Stephen, nurse Melisha Thomas, Shermid and Jade Nelson, and the Nelson family, Alma Stewart, Nesta Scott, the de Bellet family, the Folks family in Grenada and Barbados, the management and staff of Chichester's nursing home, Chris Harford, the Noel, Cox and Vespri families, Mrs. Seeley and family, Ina Griffith and family, Richard Mitchell, the Miller family, Royston, and friends and neighbours of Belmont and Springs, St. George. The funeral of the late Alma de Bellet of Maloney Street, St. George's, who resided at Belmont, St. George, will take place on Friday, 17th June at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, Church Street, St. George's, and entombment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Claudia Philipne Brown, also known as Chiney Philip, of Seamoon, who resided at Grand Bras St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, May 20th, 2022, at the age of 71. She was the wife of Anthony Philip, mother of Kennison residing in the UK, Stephen and Arlene in the USA, Brenda, Valerie, Marlon and Yolanda in Grenada, sister of David Thomas, Valerie Rodney, Lavelle, Cyril and Margaret Brown, and Winston in Grenada, Sybil Brown and Marie in Trinidad, Lorette in St. Vincent, and Verona in California. Grandmother of 17, including Tamara, Tevin, Kamalison, Melissa, Kamal, Michaela, Braden, Jamal, Serena, and Renata. Great-grandmother of 4, sister-in-law of Philippa Isaac and Magdalene Philip. Mother-in-law of Joan Templeman Philip, Lisa Epps Philip, Nelson Buckmeyer, Tracy Charles, and Devon Romaine. Aunt of many, including Trevor and Jennifer Rodney, Kira Thomas, Renata Mark, Ayana Brown, and Kelvin Brown. Many other relatives and close friends, including Jeanette Henry and family, the Brown family of Seamoon, the Francois and Douglas families of Paradise, the Thomas family of St. George and Paraclete, the Philip family of Grand Bras and in the USA, Miss Maureen Charles, Winifred Edwards, Patsy Adonis and family, Judith Wilson in the USA, Mrs. St. Louis and Miss Dolly, the Grand Bras Community Group, and friends and neighbours of Grand Bras, Ford, Telescope, and Seamoon. The funeral of the late Claudia Philipne Brown, also known as Chiney Philip, of Seamoon, who resided at Grand Bras St. Andrew, will take place on Monday, June 20th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Andrew the Apostle R.C. Church, Grenville, and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Salvan Winston MacLeod, also known as Nolan, of 6 Roads Carriacou, passed away on Saturday, 4th June 2022, at the age of 79. He was the father of Andrew in the United Kingdom and Andrea in Grenada, grandfather of Andre and Zane in the UK, brother of Neville and Rufina in the United Kingdom, Gloria, Franklin, Coswin, Erlin, Elvis and Wayne MacLeod in the USA, uncle of many in the United Kingdom and the USA, including Donna, Charlene, Marva and Godwin. Many other relatives and friends including the John, MacLeod, Stanislaus, Noel and Antoine families in Carriacou and overseas, and friends and neighbours of Six Roads, Brunswick and Leicester Carriacou, Grenada, the United Kingdom and the USA. The funeral of the late Solomon Winston MacLeod, also known as Nolan, of Six Roads, Carriacou, will take place on Tuesday 21st June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at Christ the King Anglican Church, Hillsborough, Carriacou, and interment will be at the Brunswick Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. James Wilfred Hilaire, also known as Jamesy Boy and Daddy, of Hermitage St. Patrick, who resided at River Road, St. George, retired prison officer of Her Majesty's Prisons, transitioned from this life on Friday 27th May 2022 at the age of 86. He was the husband of Nestor John Hilaire, father of Ivor, Samuel and Desmond Williams in Trinidad, Cheryl Williams in the USA, Alinthia Hilaire St. Louis in Canada, Lindonna Hilaire Marshall, Kim Hilaire Francis, and Devon Hilaire, also known as York, in Grenada. Grandfather of Tamika, Tamara, Dwayne and Kizzy Williams in the USA, Nathan and Stephen St. Louis in Canada, Trent, Tevin and Taj Marshall, Carniel and Jaziel Francis, and Brielle Hilaire in Grenada. Great-grandfather of 2 in the USA. Father-in-law of Chris St. Louis in Canada, Michael Marshall, Neil Francis, and Nakoda Joseph. Brother of Gabriel Courtney, also known as Gable. Uncle of many, including Percival, Pansy, Ethelyn and Irma Courtney, Veron, Miriam and Derek Houston, Donald, Francelyn, Francis Leslie, and Donald, also known as Dog. Cousin of many, including June, Dennis, Saga and Denise in Canada, and Norris Hilaire in Grenada. Many other relatives and friends, including Agnes Thomas and teacher Avis Macmillan and family in the USA, Judy Medford and family, teacher Anne-Marie Alexis and family, Alison Miller, Tony Courtney, the Reverend Prescott and members of the St. George's Methodist Church, George Hagley, Phyllis Francis, Inez St. Paul and family, Geraldine Thompson, Emma Charles, the Hilaire family throughout Grenada, and friends and neighbours of Hermitage and River Road. The funeral of the late James Wilfred Hilaire, also known as Jamesy Boy and Daddy, of Hermitage St. Patrick, who resided at River Road, St. George, will take place on Tuesday 21st June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. George's Methodist Church, and interment will be at the St. George's Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Lydia Cecilia Charles Williams of Upper Depredin Street, Grove, St. John, who resided in Canada, passed away on Wednesday 18th May 2022 at the age of 60. The funeral arrangements for the late Lydia Cecilia Charles Williams of Upper Depredin Street, Grove, St. John, who resided in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Angela Geneva Walker, also known as Angie, of Ford St. Andrew, who resided in the USA, passed away on Wednesday, June 1st, 2022 in the USA, at the age of 79. The funeral arrangements for the late Angela Geneva Walker, also known as Angie, of Ford St. Andrew, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Monica Sabazan, also known as Monix, of Marigot St. John, passed away on Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, at the age of 92. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Sabazan, also known as Monix of Marigot St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
Martin Philip of Crowshoe St. Andrew passed away on Wednesday, 1st June, at the age of 71. The funeral of the late Martin Philip of Crowshoe St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Eric Dunstan Charles of St. Mary's Road, Grenville, formerly of Birchgrove St. Andrew, former Assistant Comptroller of Customs, passed away on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. The funeral arrangements for the late Eric Dunstan Charles of St. Mary's Road, Grenville, formerly of Birchgrove St. Andrew, former Assistant Comptroller of Customs, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes. Hugh Thomas, also known as Word, of Concord St. John, who resided at Shantymel St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, 31st May 2022, at the age of 85. The funeral arrangements for the late Hugh Thomas, also known as Word, of Concord St. John, who resided at Shantymel St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes. Leadon Patrick John of Diego Peace, who resided at Samaritan St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, 26th May 2022. The funeral arrangements for the late Leadon Patrick John of Diego Peace, who resided at Samaritan St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes. Rosanna Evans, also known as Linda Batiste of Soubise St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, 29th May 2022, at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Rosanna Evans, also known as Linda Batiste of Soubise St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes. Elizabeth Bowen Dumont, also known as Mammy Sis, of Byland St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, May 30th, 2022, at the age of 89. The funeral arrangements for the late Elizabeth Bowen Dumont, also known as Mammy Sis of Byland St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes. Adela Leonard, also known as Awu, of Marquis St. Andrew, owner of Dell's Closet in Grenville, died on May 22, 2022, at the age of 34. The funeral arrangements for the late Adela Leonard, also known as Awu, of Marquis St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Shirley Myrtle Outram of Victoria St. Mark passed away on Friday, 13th May 2022, at the age of 95. The funeral arrangements for the late Shirley Myrtle Outram of Victoria St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Homes.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
I am Godwill James, an MD and a member of Gateway Assembly. Medically, death is regarded as an end or a cessation of life. Different groups view death in different perspectives. While some regard death as a continuation of life, others view it as an infeeble form of life. As a Christian, we may want to view death as a separation of the soul from the body. So, whichever way one may view death, I want to say that may the gentle soul of the faithful departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen.